Keywords and phrases into algebraic expressions. So we have words that can mean addition. All right, plus, more than, the sum of, total, increase by, added to. The one that gets most people. Do you see this one that says more than? Okay. When you see 10 more than a number, it means that that constant, or that whatever number it may be, you guys know the difference between a constant and a variable, correct?
Yeah.
What is a constant?
A constant stays the same in the equation. The variable doesn't change.
Correct. And what's next to the variable? What's that called? Does anybody know? There's the bonus question.
It's an expression.
No. If I have something like this, okay, this is my what?
Constant.
Okay, that's my constant because it stays the same. It doesn't change. That's my what?
Variable.
Okay. What is that 2 called?
So what?
Y1? Oh, never mind.
Ah, we got one you didn't know. Coefficient. Has anybody ever heard that term? Coefficient. It's coexisting with the variable, okay? So that's the coefficient. The key I wanted to make about this more than phrase, okay? You notice that the number, the constant, 10 more than a number. Do you notice that how it says the 10 first? So most of you would want to say, okay, 10 more than a number. Let's say I use n for x. That's written incorrectly. If it said 10 more a number, which doesn't make any sense, okay, then we would write it this way. All right? 10 also a number, but it says more than. When you see more than, what happens is that 10 goes behind the variable, okay? And it's not so bad because it won't give you a wrong answer when you have a more than. But in subtraction, when you have less than, 4 less than a number, 4 less than a number, think about it. If I told you, look at me, don't worry about what's going on. Think about this. If I told you 2 less than 3, what would you give me as your answer?
1.
Because you took 3 subtract 2, correct? If I told you 2 less 3, what would be your answer now?
Negative 1.
Okay, do you see the difference? Okay, so when you see that less than, if you were to give me that number before, it would make the variable negative, not the constant. Do you see that? So it's very important that when it says less than, that the constant is coming after the variable. Less, or just less, do you see the difference? They did 9 less a number. Here is 4 less than a number. Do you see the difference, Braylon? Okay. How about you, Chris? You're digging in your backpack. Are you paying attention? Okay, this is the deal. Food after instruction. Okay, deal?
Deal.
During instruction, you're going to wait till after instruction. Okay?
Yes,
All right, here we go. So, these are many different ways. Another one that gets people is they forget what the word quotient means. Okay? Quotient means to divide. Square. You're never going to see a cube. Don't worry about a cube. You're never going to get a cube in 8th grade math. You'll get squares, but not cubes. Let's see here. Here's your inequality signs. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. You have to identify problem situations with not only equal signs, but inequality signs. Okay? So let's look at a few of these and see if you can use your little cheat sheet to help figure out how to do them. We're just going to skip right down to here. Define the variable, then write and solve the equation for the problem. We're not going to worry about solving it. we're just going to write it correctly. All right? So 5 more than twice a number is 7. Do we want to use n for our variable or x? What would you prefer to use? All right, so every time we find the variable, we're going to use x. All right, so what are we going to write here? Twice a number. How are we going to represent that?
Squared.
No, twice. Multiplying it times 2. Okay, so if this is our variable, do we all agree?
Yeah.
All right, so how do I represent 2 times x? Do I write out 2 times x or just 2x? All right, good. 2x. So this had that more than phrase, didn't it? So plus how much?
7.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What did it say?
5.
5 more than
So it's 2x plus 5. What does the word is mean? Equals. That's correct. Do you see how equals is? Okay, so when you see the word is, it means equals 7. Now, we've been putting these in our calculator. You wouldn't have any problem doing that, would you? Okay, but the problem is getting the equation correct. All right, let's look at the next one. You can almost do this. When you see a number, write the number on top of it. 14. Oh, I've got that more than, so that means I'm going to be doing addition, right? Okay, but it's going to be then 3 times a number is 2. So it's right there. So I've got 3 times some number and 14 is 2 because it was more than. Okay?
maybe some negative.
All right. Let's look at the next one. 7, so I might just write on top of it. 7 less than, what sign am I going to use here? Subtraction, and because of that then, it's going to have to be what?
Division.
No, it's going to have to be after the variable. Twice, which is a 2, a number, x, is, there it is, and I've got the number 5, don't I? So now can I write this? What am I going to write?
2x
Wait,
Less than.
minus 7
Okay,
equals
equals 5. Everybody see that? All right, next one. Look at, we got all these more than, less than things, right? 2 more than 4 times a number is negative 10.
4x plus 2.
All right, let's get a volunteer.
Me. I'm
Oh,
on
goodness me. All right, go do this one on the board. You have to pull the screen up because you can't write on the screen. Pull the screen up. There you go. Okay, and you've got a markers up there.
I need to work today. You working there?
I want you to show us what we need to do.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Less than
There you go.
3
Uh-huh.
times x equals negative 14. It's gonna be 3x minus 8 equals negative 14.
Correct. So 8 less than 3 times a number is negative 14. So you add 3x minus 8 is negative 14, and that's correct. Okay? All right, no. We got one more, another volunteer.
Me.
No. You already did it. Come on, Chris. Hey.
What does quotient mean?
Oh, that's one of the ones that I went over. I just got asked, what does quotient mean?
Divide.
It's right here, and I underlined it because I said that's one of the ones that get you.
Oh.
Okay? All right, what do we got?
Whoa, you felt
3.
yeah.
All right, more than, which is this. What is the quotient of a number and 2? Is, so what does quotient represent? Okay, of a number, which is x, and 2, and then what do you put on the equals is 7. So now we got to write this. So we know that it's a more than, so we're going to put our variable first. How are we going to show the quotient of a number and 2? This is a hard one.
X about 2.
2x.
Let's look at our chart, and I'm going to show.
Quotient means divide.
Look at how they've represented a quotient of a number and 7. Do you see how they've done that?
Yes.
Okay? Because remember, as a fraction, this bar means divide, correct? So how are we going to write it?
X
3
divided
plus, yeah, x divided by 6.
A number is represented how?
2 over
X
2.
X divided by 2 plus 3 equals 7.
I thought it was
Okay, so that's the quotient of a number and 2. Then what are you going to put, Chris?
Plus
3
equals 7.
More than 3
Equals
is 7. Okay, Chris, do you see? This takes care of the quotient of a number and 2 is done right here. Okay, all right. Then this takes the more than, 3 more than is over here, and then you have is 7. All right, I'm going to give you your work.
Lord,
Where do we put this in between?
no.
No.
Behind notes.
No, the green paper.